Have you ever marveled at the seemingly superhuman levels of discipline exhibited by the likes of David Goggins?
Remember this! Stay hard at all times! Savagery!
Well, get ready, because in today's video, we're unlocking the secrets behind extreme discipline and sharing hacks that can turn ordinary people into unstoppable forces of discipline and determination. Now, discipline has played a pivotal role in my life journey. And it all started, I'd say, at the age of 14, when I left traditional school to pursue a career as a professional tennis player. And in that time, I was playing tennis 5 hours a day, traveling all over the place, while still having to maintain my education outside of normal school and try to also have a bit of a normal life still. And in that time, I was often having to do things that I didn't necessarily want to do. But the thing that always generally enabled me to still do those things was, yep, you guessed it, discipline. And over the years, I've continued to experiment with different methods to enhance discipline. And today, I'm going to share with you 4 strategies that, in my experience, are proven to revolutionize the way you approach discipline and will propel you towards your goals. Let's dive in. Okay, so the first strategy is to optimize your environment so that you remove the friction of doing the thing that you want to do. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, let's put it like this. Do you think it's going to be easy for an overweight person to finally eat healthy if their house is filled with junk food? No, it's going to be impossible for them. And what they need to do is remove all the bad food from their house. Or do you think it's sensible for an alcoholic to work at a pub? No, they should avoid any place that serves alcohol like the plague, as it's easier to avoid temptation than to resist it. And so the thing to ask yourself here is, what does your environment look like? And have you designed your environment in a way that makes it easier for you to achieve the things that you want to do? Because too often, what we think is our lack of discipline is simply falling victim to an environment that never gave us a chance to build the habits that we actually wanted to. The good news, however, is that we don't need to be a victim of our environment and instead can be a designer of our world. And what I mean is that we can alter the spaces where we work and live so that we increase our exposure to positive cues that are going to initiate discipline and a habit that we are trying to build, and reduce our exposure to negative cues that are going to inhibit us. For instance, say you want to start building the habit of reading more before you go to bed. What you could do is put the book that you want to read right by your bedside table, and perhaps you remove the TV from the bedroom that normally distracts you, as doing those things is going to remove the environmental friction of reading the book. So by doing these things and becoming the designer of our environment, it will allow us to be more effortlessly disciplined without actually having to rely on what you probably perceive as discipline. The second tool I have for you is a mindset shift away from focusing on what you want to achieve and instead focusing on who you want to become. Because our behaviors are usually a reflection of our identity. And so firstly, you need to figure out who it is that you want to become. And once you have a handle on the type of person that you want to be, it will become easier to take the required steps to reinforce that desired identity. For instance, say you want to lose a bunch of weight, focus on the type of person that you want to become, i.e., a fitter, healthier person. And ask yourself, what would a healthy person do? And use that question as a guide to drive the discipline within you to take the actions that you need to take to achieve the identity that you want. And the beauty of this mindset shift is that not only will it help install the initial discipline that you need to get yourself doing the things that you should be, but it will also help you shape a new identity for yourself, as every positive action that you take will be a vote towards the type of person that you wish to become. And people act in line with the person that they think they are. And so once you have fully embraced this new identity and you believe that you are this new person, this new, fitter, healthier person, say, the discipline needed in relation to that identity should be fully installed within you. Hey guys, since you're here, why don't you subscribe to the channel and give this video a like? I'd really love that. Okay, next up is to embrace the difficulty of discipline. Because let's face it, one of the fundamental truths of discipline is that it's not easy. However, rather than viewing this difficulty as a barrier, we should acknowledge that discipline requires effort and perseverance and embrace it as a natural part of the journey towards achieving our goals. And this will help to move our mindset from one of avoidance to one of acceptance. It's also worth reminding yourself that being faced with difficulty is where most people in this world of comfort give up on things. And so if you can face the difficulty head on and overcome these challenges, you really will be setting yourself apart. One other very interesting point that I wanted to mention in relation to this is that there has been a lot of recent scientific data that suggests that there is a very specific part of our brain known as the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, which can not only be activated by engaging in behaviors that you don't want to do, but that can actually grow throughout lifespan by regularly doing undesired things that are hard. And so I wanted to throw this point in there just to emphasize how if there is ever anything that you are struggling to have discipline to do, there is scientific back data that says if you do the thing anyway, you will literally be growing your brain, which seems to me like a pretty good reason to do something. Now, my final tip for discipline is to embrace and appreciate the scarcity of time. Now, if you're anything like me, sayings like, I'll do that later, or I'll do that on Monday, are sayings that you are probably familiar with. But the sad reality of life is that we just don't have time to waste, as every moment that passes is a step closer to the only thing that is really guaranteed in this life: death. And understanding that our time on this earth is limited can be a bit of a morbid thought, I admit. But it can also be a transformative realization and can ignite a sense of urgency within us and drive us towards our goals and passions. And so the next time you start to think about putting off the thing that you said you were going to do and falling victim to procrastination, try to embrace the scarcity of time as a powerful motivator to cultivate the discipline that you need to do the thing that you said you were going to do. So there you have my top tools to live an extremely disciplined life. Hopefully you found this useful, and if you did, you can check out my most recent upload here, and it'd really be great if you did subscribe to the channel. Thanks very much, and I will see you in my next video.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.